Biggest boss Ricky Rose just got word. Meech concert not happening tonight, but 305 is going down at the office. Meet us there. Bam. February 13th, the big Meech home, very fit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Might be wild when I stood next to Meech. Your knees buckle. Your knees buckle. Put your back.
Big Meech is out there criticizing Rick Ross for abandoning him after making lofty promises. Let's face it, Meech is not just irritated, he is furious. When Meech and Ross collaborated, it wasn't just about the music. Ross had a clear plan when he arrived, promising Meech a new program, a larger budget, and even a lavish performance to mark his comeback. At the time, it all seemed wonderful, but it appears that Ross has since disappeared. Ross was unable to fulfill any of his obligations, and now he's in a panic, and to be honest, he has every reason to be concerned because if there's one thing we know about Big Meech, it's that he doesn't take treachery lightly to fan the flames. Since Meech paired with Rick Ross, 50 Cent has been unrelenting in his barbs. When Big Meech united with Ross for the Welcome Home performance, 50 hurried to Instagram and began teasing. Initially, Ross had big plans for Meech when he left prison. He was advertising a massive Welcome Home concert that was supposed to be a big event. Big Meech was even promised a portion of the ticket sales, which would have been a nice payday. The catch is that the concert never happened. At the last minute, everything was canceled. And why, you ask? It's because federal agents allegedly swooped in with letters to cancel everything. Let's face it, who else could have that kind of influence? Many people are speculating that 50. If it's true that Cent was the one behind the scenes, it implies that he did it to make amends with Rick Ross. Although 50 hasn't acknowledged his involvement, he had a lot to say when Boozy Bedaz brought up the subject in a Vlad TV interview. 50 took to Instagram to make fun of the whole situation, posting, "Hey, I'm just asking for a friend. Does this mean the show's not going on?" He wrote pure disrespect.
3 hours, like, I'm at the Louis store. I'm like, what? What the? I could have saved this bitch $5,000.
As if he wasn't laughing about it all, 50 foresaw this situation and said it would be shut down before it even happened. However, the worst part was when everything fell apart and Big Meech was having trouble. Don't forget that. Rick Ross didn't assist. He only waited in the background to use Meech as a means of settling scores with 50. 50 Cent recently posted a photo of Tamians, who has been charged with being a federal informant. To heighten the intrigue, he also revealed some purported text messages that he and Tammy exchanged. In these messages, 50 asked Meech directly if she knew she was working with the government while he was in jail. What was her response? She went into further detail about the matter. 50 wrote, "The truth and nothing, Tammy Cowan." However, the truth will soon be revealed. It's important to remember that he was already accusing Meech of snitching last week when he said, "Listen to the words, big screech. You keep forgetting that you told Tammy Cowans to get your time cuts, sucker." Additionally, it's not just him who is blue. He took care to designate all of his companies that are iconic to 50 Cent. Cuffy and Da Vinci have additionally came forward and claimed that Big Meech was involved in their incarceration. They say he used Tammy Cowan as an informant. Industry insiders have been talking about this for a while, and it appears that there may be much more to the story than Meech is willing to admit.
He's saying, how did Meech have information on you and give it to Tammy so you could get caught up in it? How did that happen? So that means you got to go back to the movies. Right, that's that. Oh, Meech and Tammy was trying to get Suarez.
Exactly. But when the government found out she was in contact with me, they switched the investigation.
50 Cent also brought Lil Meech into the mix, But before all of this turmoil, 50 Cent had been helping Lil Meech. He had made significant investments, paying for his acting classes to get ready for his role in the BMF series, and running his business. Do you remember when there were rumors that Lil Meech was struggling with substance abuse? 50 decided to pay for his rehabilitation, demonstrating the depth of their relationship.
Watching movies, I'm like, man, acting must just be reading lines off of paper, like something like this. When I get there, you're like, hey, don't look at the paper. Imagine your mom and dad in the cash.
Then Big Meech switched sides, and he's making it plain that he severed all connections with Rick Ross 50 as soon as he began to get close to him. He blatantly declared that he was discontinuing the BMF series, which is essentially where Lil Meech makes his living. As a result, Meech and his son are currently experiencing financial difficulties, and to make matters worse, 50 has been extremely petty with all of the advertising whenever when he discusses BMF, he's been obscuring and changing Lil Meech's face, almost like he's trying to erase him. After the Welcome Home show failed, Rick Ross didn't remain silent either. Instead, he began making more claims, this time stating that he intends to make his own BMF series, not just any series, but one with a bigger budget than 50 Cent's.
Yeah, so look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget.
That was supposed to be Big Meech's last chance. If Ross had followed through, Meech could have made a sizable profit. But like everything else Ross promised, the show never came to pass. It was all talk. What's even more annoying is that 50 Cent owns the rights to the Black Mafia family story for TV and movies. So Ross couldn't legally pursue this project without involving him. As a result, all of that boasting was in vain, and Meech is still without money. 50 keeps making fun of him online, and to make things worse, Rick Ross hasn't done anything to support Big Meech. He was very outspoken about using Meech's name to get to 50, but now that things are getting tight, he has completely stopped talking about it. Let's face it, this is the exact reason 50 Cent has been making fun of Rick Ross for years. 50 claims that Ross only brings him up to stay in the spotlight, and that whenever he wants to trend, he has to bring up 50's name. At this point, it's clear that Ross joined the BMF trend in retaliation against 50.
Outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me.
Recently, Rick Ross boasted about being the only person to ever actually get to 50 Cent in an Instagram story clip, which abruptly rekindled his dispute with 50 Cent by bringing up his rival's late mother. Interview 724/734. He got involved as well. Tony Yao claims to have forewarned 50 about his mistakes before. Ross didn't hold back when making fun of Uncle Murder and Yao for seeming elderly and implying that they required skincare procedures. Of course, Tony Yao responded, saying that because of their close connection and loyalty, he's used to getting sucked into 50's arguments.
Yayo said, I wouldn't do that if I was, because Tony Yayo know the niggas ain't got no money. Come on, man, look at Tony Yayo on team that.
Yayo has consistently shown loyalty to 50, which Ross appears to dislike. However, Ross didn't stop there. After going too far, he changed strategies and started making fun of 50 Cent's business ventures. This time, he attacked the Unit Studios project in Louisiana, claiming that 50 couldn't complete it because he is broke and the banks won't lend him money.
Struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong?
Since 50 Cent was obviously not going to let Rick Ross get away with it, he made fun of Ross for appearing as a guest on the Millennium Tour. Omarion and Wow will share the stage with Trey Songz. Ross is a special guest alongside Ray J, and Boozy Badass Plies, and the Yin Yang Twins are also involved. Pleasure Peak with Bobby V. Most people see this lineup as a lighthearted throwback to the 2000s, but for 50 Cent, it points to something far more important. It proves that Rick Ross isn't the heavyweight he acts like. Let's face it, it's ridiculous that a self-styled rap billionaire is listed below. The Bow Wow. The whole drama started because Rick Ross kept bringing up 50 Cent, but Big Meech was the one who really suffered during the real BMF era. Meech was ruthless and would come get anything you owed him. There are rumors that Rick Ross is feeling the heat in private because Ross is allegedly aware that Big Meech and actual BMF associates could confront him at any time, either directly or through others, and demand explanations. If that happens, let's just say Ross might find himself in hot water.
The bad along with the good and show us who know how to be men, then that's what you get. Everybody shining like new money. There ain't no other crew like this in the world, and there never will be another.
Thus, a significant issue remains after everything that has transpired. What will happen next? Is Rick Ross actually worried about Big Meech maybe pursuing him? Did he take on more than he can handle by attempting to play both sides? Do you think 50 cents? Will he ever let this problem go away, or is this just the beginning for him? I would like to know what you think about this, so please leave your ideas in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to be informed of any updates in this case.